Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Nut Producer Magazine, reporting to you from the annual American Pistachio Conference here in Palm Desert. I'm here with Richard Matoian, Executive Director of APG. It's been a wonderful conference, had a great turnout, and here's Richard, who discussed the current state of the industry, both the positives and some of the concerns that growers have.
Thanks, Matt. First of all, we have about 850 people registered here for the conference, one of our largest conferences ever. Today we gave our update on the state of the industry. This last year we produced 605 million pounds. 2018 looks like we'll have an on year, but it won't be a very large on year. Everyone expects somewhere around 700 million pounds, hopefully more. But we know that we're on target with a number of acres that are in the ground that we're going to hit 1 billion pounds by 2020. In fact, we're going to go from about 264,000 bearing acres currently here in 2018 to about 350,000 bearing acres by 2023. So we're going to have this rapid increase in the number of bearing acres that are going to come into production. And so we're laying the groundwork right now to help market that billion-pound crop that's coming in 2020. One of the other things that I talked about today was the growing concern over navel orange worm, or NOW, or NOW as growers call it, and the incidence of aflatoxin. And there's a correlation, the higher amount of navel orange worm damage that you have, you will in fact have a higher incidence of aflatoxin positive finds, particularly in countries like the European Union and Japan that test pretty rigorously for it. And the concern is that the industry really needs to collectively work to address the navel orange worm problem, bring down their levels, which will then in turn bring down the level of aflatoxins that are found over tolerance. We just want to make sure that we keep those export markets open because 70% of our crop is currently being exported every year.
So Japan and Europe especially are some of those markets that we want to protect.
Yeah, Japan and European Union are the two areas of the world that test heavily. Currently in the European Union, they're testing 10% of shipments that are going in, but they're testing 50% of shipments for product that's coming in from Iran or from Turkey. So if we were to go up to that level of testing, it would just not be a good situation for our country and for our industry, because if you test for it, you'll eventually be able to find aflatoxin in loads. All it takes is one infected nut that may have a high parts per billion to affect a sample size. Our processors are doing all that they can, but this really has to start from the grower end in reducing their navel orange worm damage that they find in their orchards.
Thank you, Richard. And we've had a couple testimonials from growers today that have been able to effectively reduce now populations to less than 1%. And so it is possible, but we do have to work together as an industry. Thank you for watching, and our sponsor for this video is Jordy Nursery, so be sure to thank Jordy Nursery and let them know you watch this. Read more about this in Pacific Nut Producer Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.